Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and Ripple is seeking help with the implementation of on-demand liquidity worldwide. Take a look at this. This is from Ripple's official website, Senior Product Manager, On-Demand Liquidity. Yes, they are hiring, so I wanted to share some of this with you. It's kind of fun to read through this, even though I'm not looking for a job. I own my own company, but hey, who knows? Maybe there's somebody out there listening to this that would be the shoo-in for this, and it's just kind of neat anyway. And it was one of the news articles that I came across today, which kind of brought this to my attention. So I'm going to run through that, and then I've got an update on a story I previously covered, and this is from Cointelegraph. This one's titled, "OneCoin Website Goes Offline as Net Closes in on $4 billion Ponzi Scheme." And so, and this is where I was upfront and admitted that prior to the more recent story I heard about this, I wasn't even aware of this. It seems to me, I guess it's just like BitConnect gets all the quote-unquote glory as it pertains. That's the wrong word. But as far as coverage, when it comes to scams, Bitcoin's the one that takes the cake and everybody focuses on. But this is massive. So anyway, I've got an update for you on this. But before we go any further here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP and on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel because it's a gosh darn good idea. So let's go ahead and dig in. I got this from dailyhodl.com. So I'm going to run through this real briefly, just a few sentences of this, and then I'm going to hop over and show you some of the specifics of this anyway. But I just think it's cool. Anyway, Ripple is looking for a key player to help grow the company's XRP-based remittance product called On-Demand Liquidity. The company is searching for a new senior project manager to boost XRP's liquidity and help realize Ripple's strategy to reduce the cost of cross-border payments. So far, Ripple has rolled out on-demand liquidity in Mexico and the Philippines, with payments giant MoneyGram moving 10% of its Mexican peso foreign exchange volume using the technology. And of course, and it wasn't cited here, but I thought that the Australia corridor was open based on another article that I covered in my last video anyway, but right here they state, Ripple says it plans to launch on-demand liquidity in Australia and Thailand next year, along with a number of unnamed countries. Well, regardless of the timing of it, doesn't matter, it's coming, so that's kind of the cool part, right? But to take a look at this, so here we go, here's the actual posting again on Ripple's website, and in reading through this, unless I actually missed it, I don't think that they put down any specific requirements in terms of education. I don't think I saw anything like that in here. They do cite requirements and what they're like expecting, but I didn't see anything in terms of education. And maybe I haven't had to have a job interview since I was 22 years old, and I'm 36, and that's because I own my own company now, so hopefully never will need to again unless something goes terribly wrong. So I guess I don't know what to expect, but I just kind of thought that's one of the things that they'd kind of cite. But hey, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, Ripple's looking for a product manager with a unique combination of vision and execution to help realize Ripple's strategy to reduce the cost of cross-border payments. On-demand liquidity is a product that leverages digital assets and blockchain technology to improve the cost, speed, and transparency of cross-border payments. This newly highly strategic product for Ripple is powered by the superior speed, low transaction cost, and scalability of the digital asset XRP. So that's how they started this out. And I'm not going to run through this whole thing. It'd be boring and too long if I literally read this whole thing. But there are a few parts that I did find kind of interesting. Because I think it would be fun to work at Ripple, and if I weren't self-employed, I'd probably look into this, see if they'd be willing to hire me. Maybe they wouldn't, because I have a YouTube channel that's called Moon Lambo. So maybe that disqualifies me right there. Fair enough. It's a stupid name, and I say silly, dumb things sometimes. But anyway, take a look at this. So as far as what you'll be responsible for, developing phased approach for improving XRP liquidity at key digital asset exchanges to support the growth of on-demand liquidity. And obviously exchange partners are absolutely crucial to this, because that's where the vast majority of liquidity is likely to come from. Now, I've talked about in the channel in the past the concept that there can be liquidity providers that aren't exchanges, but if any of them are online, I'm just not aware of it, and I haven't seen anybody in the community talk about it, but I can see ultimately that making sense down the road. Identifying common needs across Ripple partners and developing product strategies to better manage liquidity for on-demand liquidity transactions. Understand how to best apply routing logic to optimize velocity and value combinations for XRP movements in on-demand liquidity. Also, partnering closely with Ripple's business development, data, and XRP markets team on feature and country priorities. Identify, assess, and enable solutions that optimize velocity and value combinations for XRP trading. So those are some of the ones that I found most interesting. Now, who are you? Who's the ideal candidate? And they write that they want somebody with 8 years of overall experience, and then parentheses they write at least 2+ as a product manager with top trading firm, internet, e-commerce, and or financial services companies. So given that bar for entry, maybe it's assumed that whoever that candidate is, the educational background isn't gonna, it'll be there. I'm kind of guessing. And I remember like Bob Way, I haven't seen him in the community in a while. He hasn't been popping up in my feed. I don't know if he just ghosted again, but he was Ripple's 10th employee. He no longer works at the company. But he even once jokes like the requirements for getting hired at Ripple, they've increased over the years as the bar gets raised. And he joked, I think he was hopefully just half joking, but he said that even though he was their 10th employee ever, because he was there pretty much from the beginning, and now there's something like 400 employees. Is that right? I think that was the number. I apologize if I'm mistaken, but I think that's where they are now. But he's like, I don't think Ripple would have hired me if I applied for the job today. So he's just kind of making the point that they're really looking for the cream of the crop here, so to speak. There's going to be another opening too, as kind of I guess good news for Dilip Rao here. I'm sure many of you in the community are familiar with him. He's the one that came up with the he said the cool your jets comment. And so that hashtag is kind of all over the place. I even cited it in an unrelated video yesterday, I believe. So Dilip Rao, Ripple employee, he tweeted this out. After an exciting last lap, and then in parentheses he writes, Ripple since July of 2014, I'm retiring from active duty to put my feet up in Australia in 2019. Grateful to the many friends and colleagues who made every day a joy. Best to my mates at Ripple and hashtag XRP community, hashtag keep the faith. And he's got a little gif here that says, that's all, folks. So congratulations, Dilip Rao. That's awesome, and I hope you enjoy your time in retirement. And so somebody's going to have to fill your shoes. But I always enjoyed watching Dilip speak publicly whenever he'd get interviewed or he'd be on a panel or anything like that. Real sharp guy, very knowledgeable. So just thought I'd highlight that. And last here, this is from Cointelegraph. OneCoin website goes offline as net closes in on $4 billion Ponzi scheme. So here's the latest. The website for cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme OneCoin has finally ceased operating months after United States authorities indicted one of its founders for fraud. As MLM scan monitoring resource behind MLM.com noted on December 1st, OneCoin.eu no longer returned a live result as of November 30th. Upon investigation, a representative from EURID, the domain's registry, confirmed to the publication that the website was offline due to the criminal proceedings against OneCoin. The domain name is under legal investigation. Please further check our who is for the status of the domain name, a written response reads. The event marks the latest in a series of revelations in the takedown of OneCoin, which operated for years and defrauded investors of around $4 billion. Because, of course, as my grandpappy used to say, people are no damn good. As Cointelegraph reported, the legal case last month closed in on a lawyer associated with co-founder Ruja Ignatova, who prosecutors claim is responsible for helping her launder proceeds worth $400 million. Yep, some people do suck. OneCoin first attracted suspicion as far back as 2015 when Cointelegraph released an expose on the back of research from behind MLM. In the ensuing years, successive governments worldwide issued warnings about the scheme's operations, which promised huge returns for comparatively tiny investments. Ignatova is currently on the run, while her brother, fellow co-founder Konstantin Ignatov, recently pled guilty to charges including money laundering and fraud and faces up to 90 years in prison. Yeah, maybe don't be a D-bag and then you won't face up to 90 years in prison. So, hey, it's just the flushing out in the world of crypto, and I want all the scams to go away, and they will ultimately. It's just, the new technology with this, there's always going to be some bad actors that want to take advantage of others, but hey, BitConnect's gone, OneCoin's gone, and so will all the other scams one day. All good things in time. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for stopping by. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!